Good evening, guys. So today I'm gonna show you how I created this shirt animation. I got some of the comments where you asked me how I did it, and you asked me to write a tutorial for it. So that's why I decided to find some time and do it for you guys. So let's watch it once again. And here we go. So in this tutorial I would go through the process of creating this 3D file, a 3D scene. So let's get started. And first I would wanna just show you how this scene looks from above. Yeah, so this was a commercial project I did a couple of months ago, and it's quite simple geometry. It's nothing special. So if you would see, it's just simple building blocks. So I did a group of the object, if you could see better here, and if I would gonna open it, so you'd see it's simple geometry, nothing special. That I think every one of you could do it, and if you could see that some of them are just instances, sorry, and you could change it like whatever you want, so it doesn't matter. So in between the buildings we have a great nice playground, and we have some animated trees here and also some bushes. Also we have people here. So I'm gonna start to show you how I created trees. So the trees are Max Trees collections 5. So I have graphics files of them, and you could buy them from Max Tree website. So there is also a graphics data that you could use to animate the trees, and or you can just get it as mesh but without animation. So, and the second thing, you also need to buy a plugin called graphics. It's used to create vegetation as any kind of, and you could also use it to animate the trees. I find it quite cool. Not an expert in this plugin, but I learned some basics, and I'm gonna show you how you could also do the same to animate the trees in graphics. So it's quite cool. Let's hold on, let's take some time to autosave. So I found it doesn't matter which computer you have, it's also quite slow process every time when you're saving the file. It takes a lot, by my opinion. So, and even I have SSD M2, and it doesn't make sense. So it's saving like around half minute or so. So sometimes it's annoying, but I don't recommend to turn it auto saving off, because when it's crashed, it's happened very often when you forgot to turn it back. So that's why you need just to accept it, or maybe just split your file in some small parts. That's I'm quite often just doing it like that. So for example, if I want to animate the trees, I just open the free file in 3ds Max, and then I just working with it. Yeah, so if that's quite easy. Okay, so here we have the tree, and if you see in graphics, there are some parameters. That's part of this tree. It's trunk, all different kind of branches, also leaves and the roots. So before you're adding, I recommend to turn this on, manual update, In this case, you will don't get every time auto-updating it when you change something. Yeah, for example, I wanna go now to turn off the parts of this tree. Yeah, so we're gonna just keep the trunk object, and when I click update, guys, you wanna see that it will take now some time to update. Here we go. So it's quite also slow. I found it also doesn't matter how powerful your PC is, so that's why you need to work it part by part, and unfortunately it's a little bit slow, but anyway, you can have a good result with this animated trees in your scene, and it definitely will give a much realistic look to your animation. So, but you need to play with this first to learn which kind of settings make the are important to animate it. Yeah, so let's gonna close it, and here too you need firstly to go to after mesh modifiers, and here I wanna uncheck this manual update. So here we guys, when I play this animation, you could see that tree is moving, the trunk of this tree. It's also quite slow at the beginning, but so one of you guys asked me about my PC. That's I would say that it makes sense to have a powerful PC, but at some kind of point it does not make sense if you have, for example, I have Threadripper 3990X, and I'm kind of sure if you have a Intel or like a much lower version of PC, that will not like help you to work faster, because at some point Max cannot just use this resources of your PC to get a benefit of the speed. So the CPU will just increase the rendering speed definitely, but not the working process. Also the graphic card will not increase the working process. It just can a little bit help you in navigating in your viewport, but will not speed up some of the options, like for example now like real-time playing the animation. So I'm just saying it's at some of the points, so it does not matter if you have 8 GB RAM graphic card or it's 4 GB, so you will not see really huge differences between. It's just my opinions, maybe I'm wrong, but if it is, just leave a comment, and I will be just glad to learn something from you guys as well. And here you see the trunk is moving. If we just, I'm sorry, it's really not clearly noticeable, but that's kind of settings we wanted to add or change. So here in After Mesh Modifiers we have create new modifier button, and I would here select the wind modifier, which I have already created. And in the wind modifier you also need to create a wind object. It's this fan here. You could see it's looks similar like a particle wind, but here this one is used only for graphics objects. So you can create it with create object and then just click pick. So, and here in the most important settings are flexibility and stiffness. Yeah, these two settings we're gonna change. And so first I found increasing this value will give you more resistant to wind, and also less flexibility give you more resistance. And I think it's what you need exactly for trunk. Yes. So if we change to 10, for example, so immediately you see that's the trunk start bending, and you see how it's moving around it. I think it will be not realistic in having some gentle wind, some small movements, but so it looks more like I don't know, like a hurricane or something happening. Yeah. Also the direction of the wind, it's also quite important. So if we would change it to the left, you see immediately we have the tree is moving to another side. And okay, so let's go back, and don't forget to uncheck it and check it when you need it to turn on objects, because if for example I now unhide the branches first, you will see now it will start updating the object. Okay, and now, okay, I didn't. Oh. Okay, so let's see. So it's quite strong, yeah, so let's give it back to 0.1. And with this movement you see that the movement is quite gentle, so it's not very rough and very strong. So the flexibility, yeah. So just you need to play with these two settings, it's quite important. And also think about which part of the tree will be moving. So I not did for every part of the tree, so it was just done for the trunk, very gentle move, and then I did it, I believe it was branch number 3. Okay, yeah, that was branch number 3. And here again we just add the wind modifier and click pick, and here we put less stiffness and also increase the flexibility. So if I will just unhide the object. Okay, so branch number 3, it is small branches here, and you see that they are very small movement, and you're gonna see now. And if you feel that it's too much, then we can reduce it by putting the flexibility to, for example, 4. And in this way you're gonna see that the movement it's very slow and it's not really happening here. So that's why you need to play with the setting to get a good understanding. So I also turn on the axial rotation, and I think it's also sometimes important, but normally I use it only for leaves. Yeah, so we're gonna go now leaf stalk, I think. Okay, yeah, that was the leaf stalks, and you're gonna see the small pieces of the tree, this green one, and you're gonna see here that they are really extremely flexible, and axial rotation is around 30 degrees. So that's mean that leaves will rotate around 30 degrees. I think if I just turn on the leaves, so let's zoom in. I will just turn on the mesh so you can see it better. And let's see. Unfortunately, it's moving so slow, but that's how we need to work. So if you see, that's how they are rotating. If I turn this off, okay, it's auto-saving. I need to cancel it. And so you see, so we have it. Oh, it's crazy slow. So it's really sometimes annoying to work with this because you cannot really speed up this process. It's like that. It's like you could try to turn off the other parts of the trees. I think it's, you see, it's going extremely slow. Okay, so we keep the leaves, and it does not make really sense. It's still slow, but anyway. You could also not get a real understanding of the movement until you do a preview from tools, grab viewport and create preview animation. So I highly recommend to do it before you render, because otherwise you cannot get an understanding of how it's animated, because the FPS, it's you can see here, it's like 1.9. It's extremely slow, a low value, and but anyway. Okay, so let's turn it back. I have also roots. That's easiest way to make this animation, so with the modified objects after mesh modifiers. And that's how I did for the other trees. Also for the small brushes, they are also from Max Tree collection, and that's how you do it. If you want, guys, I will just create a really step-by-step tutorial about this topic if you really need it, if you're interested. So you could also leave a comment and tell me if it's important for you, and I will try to do it as soon as I have a time. Okay, and now let's go to the people. For the people, I'm using Anima software. Yeah, that's the people I came from Anima software, and Anima is kind of standalone application, and so the interface looks like that, and you can download it by creating an account by axisdesign.com, and when you create it, you can go here by Anima software and click here free version. Click here buy, but don't afraid, you don't need to pay because it costs €0 now. It's free, just free version, allow you to check the files, but unfortunately it's very limited to the model. So if you are professional and you want to use it for your films and animation, I would recommend you to get Anima All subscriptions. It's quite cool because for €640 per year you could get access to 1,700 people. They're quite cool, and sometimes they're quite useful for your animation if you need people, of course. So I know that's for so many of you guys, and also for me, that's quite a lot of money, but definitely if you need it. So it's, let's say it's just price per year. Yeah, so if you don't need it, also you can cancel. And after you downloading it, you will get the software, how it looks from inside. And if you see here, we have free models that comes with a light version. So there are Rigid, Ready Post, Ambient, and 4D. So let's first create a Rigid one, and I will gonna do the walkway tool and just click here, make 2 clicks, and then right click to make a line here. It's the way for the animated people to walk in. And for example, let's take some guys here. So I already have one downloaded, so you can just drag and drop really easy, just a few clicks, and then you can click play button. You see it's moving quite weird. I know that's not so realistic movements for rigged people, you see it, he's walking like robot, but if you take it from distance, which normally I do trying to make, so without any close-ups, for these people, for this kind of rigged people, because otherwise I immediately see difference that it looks like a 3D, like a robot movement, and it's not really cool, especially if you pay like 600 euro to get the people and then it looks cool. That's it, but that's rigged people, what I told you. And of course, if you buy Anime All with subscription, you will get access to much more people. Unfortunately, at home version, I have just 3 of them, and not all of them. And here the second one is 3D Post. 3D Post is so here's how it looks when you downloading them for them. It's download exactly to your hard disk and immediately put it in your scene. So they looks quite cool. It's there for your, for example, when you're making stills, they're quite cool. I find the quality is quite realistic, so especially if you don't put in the close-up, but you can also change the colors. Normally I use only the 0 because it looks most realistic one, but if you need some variation, you could play with the settings. And let's grab some second one, Ambient People. Let's put some of them. You see it's downloading, and put it exactly in your library. And Ambient People, I found them, they can work great for close-ups. So if I would play, you could see that the movements not so strong, so they still looks like in computer game characters, but for a middle range distance they works quite well, yeah. So if you place also some of the person here, I found them quite cool. So if I click play button, so they have some gentle, slow, slight movements, and I think it's quite cool because you don't, for example, this guy, you could really see it moving like a robot, so it's your eye exactly see that it's something happens here, something wrong. So let's go to the last one. It's 40 people. I think it's the best one what they have now, and they looks quite, it's like a real photo scan, so that means they took it like the people like for stills, but they capture every movement like a new generated mesh, a new frame. So if you click the play button, you see that it's, especially from middle distance, they looks crazy realistic, yeah. So the movement are great, and comparing to the guy still walking in background like a robot, but this guy, that's, you could see that's quite realistic, yeah. So from some of the kind of points you could not really say it's it looks like a footage, so paste it in your post-production, but this is in 3D, so it makes really cool plus like to realism to your scenes. And that's why I would say it's worth this money to pay if you have the movie for when you need to put the people there, and they should look realistic and not fake, like moving like robots. So if again I put the guys here, of course you could change here. If you click on this path which I created, you could change the speed of the walk. That's normally I also do, so I put here around like 45, so they are not very fast moving. So, and also I just trying to make them let's say to make a movement like general walking, but I put normal speed mail, and this, let's say for this guy I will also use normal speed mail, and when we click play button you see that it's a little slightly better still. Yeah, but I think for distance there that works perfect now, so it's not moving weird. Maybe a little, but anyway that looks cool. So this was a quick overview of this Anima software, and now you have a question how you like just put it in your scene, how you use it. So when you install the Anima software, it comes also one plugin inside your 3ds Max, and the cool thing, you could also make a synchronization with your scene. I'm not gonna do it now, but I will gonna show you on another file. So I will just create a box, for example, and let's convert it to poly, and I will just put some obstacles here, like in the middle, just to make it cooler, and I was just gonna attach the object here, and now I would go and export selected, and I will call it so export, and I will create call it Anima ground. So click OK, and when you're in Anima, so you need to click here on this plus icon and select your object. So you just copy paste the path, and here our object. And here it's important to select your units. So I work normally my 3ds Max in centimeters, and you see here, and also it's more than here. That's why I use the same units here. App axis I use that, but I think it doesn't make really sense. So normals from file. Okay, I'm not gonna show. I think yes. Okay, let's click. Would you like to use any menu? Also click yes. So I think something happens wrong. I think I did it wrong. So it says it's gonna change, but let's do it once again. I click import. Let's say just centimeters, and it was X up axis. Let's do it. I think it was Y. No, I think it should be Z. Centimeters, click once again. It doesn't work. Okay, I think I did it wrong, so I need to. I think it was not set, it was Greek. Let's do it like this. Centimeters, import. Oh yeah. It's also wrong with the measurements. Oh, this makes sometimes crazy. Let's keep it meters, and okay. And now I think it's too big, or let's check it, let's test it out. So when you draw it like that, I think it was right, because here I did super small. So yeah, that was right. So let's make just a box as a human high. Be sure the scale of your let's say ground is it's right scaled. So yeah, so let's make it bigger, and I was just gonna make it like this. And now I was gonna also create some maybe stairs. So that's gonna create like a solid stairs, like a box. So I'm gonna do it like that, and let's guys, maybe we could create like a Squid Game stairs like this, and Yes, maybe something like that. So let's have some fun with it. So I convert to poly and let's just move it like this. And I also move it down so closely to this one. And okay, so they should not be attached. It's not you could keep them separated, and it's more important to have them like editable poly or like geometry. And then you just need to export it like fbx, click yes and okay, and then once again, I'm sorry guys, sometimes it's quite complicated, so let's keep here centimeters A plus, and let's try it now. So I just gonna create the same. So the navigation is also quite weird, it's not like in 3ds Max, but so you need to hold Alt and then left click to rotate and Alt and right click to pan. Yeah? Okay, so let's draw it. Oh, I think it's still wrong. I think it's wrong. It's crazy wrong. Oh, man. I think I did it wrong. It's super small, but this doesn't matter. Let's do it once again. Yeah, I think it's for one person, yeah, so it's not very bright, very white, sorry. And you could just resize it a little bit, but no, it's quite complicated, but anyway. Let's try it, okay? So, let's play. So you could see they can also walk. I think it's quite cool if you have a stairs, but still some weird movement, and that's kind of strange, yeah. So normally I would recommend you to use this normal speed female or normal speed male presets for a walk. They're a little more natural. If you could see the movements, still weird, but it works from distance. That's quite okay. Okay, so and now I'll show a cool feature here. If we click 3ds Max synchronization button, and I think I need to save a file. Let's just do it, test, and it should gonna work now. Click yes, and I think because I didn't save the project file, yeah, so I need to save project, save all, and okay, so here we go. Here it comes with a window where it's automatically detecting your render engine. So for me it was Corona, but it also works for V-Ray the same way. You need to click apply materials, and then you have it in your file with synchronization. It works very cool. It just was one of the options. And if you're gonna go here, select parent and show textures on viewport, and then here you go, you could also see like exactly immediately in your file, but you make sure to have it the size of your Anima project, the size of the keyframes. So for now it was just 120 for some reason, because I think I didn't play it enough. Okay, so it says already synchronize it. I think it's because I have a light version, so you're not allowing me to make more than 120 frames. I know it's quite annoying, but it's just for because it's light version. Okay, so that's was the way how I did it for this project. So unfortunately they are not free, and for some people that's quite expensive to have them, but if I also click, you can also have them with textures. And as I told you, it's when you use these people, it's always good to think about where you place your camera, and it's better to always test with your camera, and in this way you could have a better feeling how they will move in your frame, in your shot. So guys, I think it was like that. So if you have any questions or you have advices, you could also leave a comment and we can discuss about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if something was wrong. It's just first my tutorial, and I'm not really sure how to do it right, but I hope you get some understanding of how these tools work for me in this small movie. So, and by the way, this thing I did in as like just clay material in Corona, so you could have an understanding that was the people are in 3D and the trees are also in 3D. So, and yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy the guys. So if you like it, you could leave a comment, and I would love to continue make for you guys tutorials if you're really interested. And if you of course have any feedback or any question, you could ask me in the comments below, or yeah. So I hope you enjoy, guys, and good luck.